and very cold.
Cold. Cold. Cold. Cold.
Remember that? Visitors weighing in on Super Bowl 52 in the bold north leading up to the big game. Yeah, going back to February, it was a cold one, and we definitely lived up to that bold north title. But did we live up to the economic expectations? We'll finally find out today, months after the event. Ellery McCardle joins me now with more on what we hope to learn today.
Yeah, well, Lauren, this morning, actually, the Minnesota Super Bowl Host Committee will release their economic impact report. Now, they'll talk about how they collected the data and give us an idea of how much the city brought in for this as the Super Bowl host. But first, here's what they expected.
It was a party in the Twin Cities from January 26th to February 4th, covering U.S. Bank Stadium to Nicollet Avenue. The Super Bowl Host Committee predicted the event would rake in more than $400 million, coming from the more than 1 million people arriving from 130 different countries. 5,000 of those people, members of the media. And don't forget the 10,000 volunteers helping to make sure things ran smoothly. On the business side, there were more than 8,600 hotel rooms available in downtown Minneapolis alone. Now today we find out, with the help of Minnesota Governor Mark Dayton, if it was worth the work and how the event may have changed our communities.
All right, so that meeting is at 10 o'clock this morning at the state capitol. One thing I want to know is how much people bought, because a lot of people came here, didn't realize how cold it was, bought all this winter gear, and then ditched it before they went back to, Philly or out east.
And that's a great point. We definitely put our best foot forward, but I did talk to business owners throughout the event who were expecting it to be jam-packed for a whole week, and they said people didn't really come till the Thursday before the game.
Okay.
Interesting to see how that might impact.
For sure.
All right, Ellery, thank you. Alicia?
In news headlines this morning, deadly and dangerous storms across the country for Memorial Day. A news anchor and photojournalist from South Carolina were killed yesterday after a tree fell on their SUV while they were covering a storm there. The reporter and photographer both worked for WYFF News 4, the NBC affiliate in Greenville, South Carolina. Officials say a large tree fell after rain saturated the ground beneath it. One man is still missing in Maryland as flash flood waters recede. Mud, crumpled cars, and splintered building fronts are what's left in parts of Ellicott City's historic district. Many say they're looking to rebuild, despite this being the second flash flood there in less than 2 years. At-home storms popped up quickly yesterday evening, bringing 60-mile-per-hour winds and reports of golf ball-sized hail. Trees and power lines were brought down. There were no reported injuries. Officials are working to figure out what started a 3-alarm fire in the Minneapolis building that once housed the landmark Roberts Shoe Store. Firefighters say they do know the fire started in the basement of the building on Lake Street late Sunday night. Everyone inside got out safely, but those who live there or own businesses there do face an uncertain future.
All right, let's head to Sven now. What's the one thing we need to know about the weather today?
It's going to be another hot one, and we might have a repeat of some storms like yesterday, late in the afternoon, early evening, but plan to stay cool one more day before things start to get back closer to normal.
All right, Sven, thank you. 6:05 is our time, and it's time now to check on the stories trending locally and nationally. It's time for Digital Dive. So this one, kind of a sad one, out of Ohio. So this picture is now circulating all over social media. It's of a puppy with the words written "free" on it in permanent marker. This puppy was found in Ohio. It was left in a cage. The person also wrote on this puppy, "Good home only" in permanent marker on the other side of the puppy. A humane society in the area is now taking care of that little guy. A lot of people having mixed reaction to it this morning. Most of it negative. Krista saying that it's free of a horrible person who should never have animals in their possession. Others are saying, though, you never know what's going on in other people's lives. You can't really judge them. Hannah tells us, poor baby, I wonder if the owner was in a desperate situation. She's saying maybe there's domestic abuse or extreme health issues there. And Christy's saying at least the puppy was found in a cage with an obvious note. No one was mistakenly spent time trying to even find their owner. She was saying some people, leave dogs just on the side of the road without a cage. Of course, we want to hear from you. Let us know what you think about this story by heading over to the KARE 11 Facebook page.
Sad. Thank you, Alicia.
Sad.
Well, in other news this morning, Here's a story I wasn't even sure I wanted to talk about because you don't want to give it more publicity, but you know, it's important that parents know this is going to be out there. A new video game allows you to play school shooter. Really? Hard to believe people would make such a disgusting game, but they did. The video game bills itself as a SWAT simulator. You can be the cops or the shooter, but that's not the point here. The point is that murdering children is not a game. Something that really shouldn't have to be said, should it? So keep an eye out for it in case your kids come across it. An Olympic skier with a heart of gold says a heartbreaking goodbye to his dog, Bimo. There is the puppy there. Gus Kenworthy has rescued dogs at both the Sochi Games and recently in Pyongyang. He found Bimo at a dog meat farm. Now the pup became a celebrity in his own right, racking up 130,000 Instagram followers. But then he died from a heart defect. So social media, of course, just lit up. People offering their condolences and also sharing their own painful stories of losing a pet. And finally, is Serena Williams the 451st best women's tennis player in the entire world? Of course not. But that is where she's ranked right now after taking nearly a year off on maternity leave. So here's the controversy. She's returning to Grand Slam play at the French Open. She was #1 when she left to have the baby. So where should she be seated? So this one's splitting a lot of experts, but it could lead to some big changes in the sport because more athletes are taking time off to have their children. And I'm not quite sure where she should be seated, but definitely not 451st in the world.
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, I've never had a baby, but I've known people that have had, and they said that, you know, it's hard to get back into shape, tip-top shape, especially when you're an extreme great athlete like Serena Williams. So
she
maybe she's okay with it.
She may not come back as strong as she was right away, but certainly she was such a powerhouse that, you know, she's not going to lose it all.
We'll have to wait and see how she does.
Yeah, and what decision they make, because that's still very much up in the air.
Yeah. Hey, still to come, I'm sharing some of my favorite summer makeup hacks that are stress and worry-free. Good stuff.
And they're good, guys. You're going to want to see these. Plus, the fish, they're biting this weekend. We look at how a cold and a hot spring is a dream for those out on the boats.
Another large